This video will demonstrate how to utilize units in Powersim Studio. Let's make a variable. This is the amount of water I have in a tank for my cottage. Let's say I have 500 liters. Then I want to buy more water. So I make another variable, water to buy. I want to buy 2 cubic meters. The amount of water to buy is given in the unit cubic meters, while the water I have in liters. In conventional systems, we would need to make a conversion here from cubic meters to liters. So therefore, we would make a variable like this. Then we have to multiply by this value to get the correct sum. I get the sum 2500. This is obsolete and you don't need to do it this way. With the automatic unit conversion in Powersim, you can do this automatically. Look at this. We delete this variable and we rather put the unit directly into the variable. This is 500 L for liters. Then it tells me L is unknown. Still I press OK. Then I'm asked, do I want to create this unit L? Yes. Then it suggests, due to the name, that L should be a volume, liter. It's a standard unit. It also shows me how it's defined. So now this variable is no longer 500, it is 500 liters. Then the amount to buy should be 2 cubic meters. I define this as well, double bracket for unit, meter raised to the power of 3. Now this is cubic meters. Then in this definition, all I need to do is water in tank plus water to buy. That's all. 2,500 liters. It is converted automatically. Very simple. Let's change these values. Let's say this is water in fridge. I have 2 liters and I want to buy 2, not cubic meters, that's too much in the fridge. I want to buy 2 bottles. Then do I want to create this? Yes. 1 bottle, several bottles. And what is a bottle? It should be derived from liters with a factor of 1.5. I say 1 bottle is 1.5 liter. Okay, then it is automatically converted again. 2 liters plus 2 bottles gives 5. And we have this phrase 2 plus 2 equals 5. In Excel you would get 4. What if I make a mistake? By mistake, I haven't added the water to buy, but I've added something else. And this is, for instance, 2 days. What should then happen here? Of course, that's not possible. 2 liters plus 2 days should give an error. In Excel, you would still get 2 as a result. As you see here, the error message says it cannot be a time span. It must be measured in liters or a compatible unit of that. Yes, I continue anyway. I may want to change this or may want to change which variable to refer to. What about currencies? If we make an expense variable, like this one, saying this is expense 1, an expense of 50 euros. It asks me, what about EUR? Do I want to create that as a unit? Yes. Now it suggests euro as a currency unit. Since currencies are reported specially, we have special units also for that. So I accept that, finish, and this is my expense. For units, we often want to use exchange rates, and we want them to be external. Therefore, in this case, I want an external exchange rate between units and US dollars. I want it to be number of dollars per euro. The definition of this one should be 1.27 US dollars per euro. Also in this case, what about US dollars? Yes, I want to create it. Finish. Okay, so now I have an exchange rate and I have the expense. To create the variable for this one, I may always wonder, should I multiply by this exchange rate or should I divide by it? When I have exchange rates being close to 1, that may be a mistake and I may not discover it because the value may not be so very different. So in this case, I take my expense. Of course, if looking at this, we know we should multiply. But now I do the mistake of dividing. I divide by my exchange rate, and what happens? In this variable, you see, I get a very strange unit. I get the square of euro divided by US dollars. Of course, I understand that's wrong. In Excel, I would get only 39.37 if I make this mistake. Here I can see that something is wrong. So I go back into here and change my division to multiplication, and my conversion is correct. I may have other expenses, so let's make an expense 2 in US dollars. Expense 2 equals 100 US dollars. This one may be added to this variable. Total expense, I simply add the expense 2, and since this is in US dollars, this is okay. It's automatically converted. I may also want to change this exchange rate to test it or just to view it. So I can increase it, then we see the total changes. If we set it to 1, then we see we have 150 as a result, because this one is 100. Very simple calculation. To reset this one to the defined value, you may reset the model. Is this a black box? What's happening behind all this? Sometimes you may want to get an overview over all your units. To see those, you can click this unit icon. Here you have a list of all the units in this model. You see some are yellow and some are green. The yellow ones are those we have defined ourselves. The green ones are system units. You see the bottle is defined as 1.5 liters. We have also defined liters. That is defined as 0.1 meters raised to the third power. To create that one, it automatically created meters as well. So when we defined cubic meters, it didn't ask us about meters, because that was already defined. You see the currency units are specially defined. They don't have to be. They could have been so-called atomic units, but since they're defined as currency, US dollars, they are reported by the dollar sign, for instance, and the euro sign. To go back to your diagram, you can click this diagram icon. Let's make one more example. We use diagram 2. I have an object. It could be myself, anyone, with a certain mass. I say M equals 80 kilograms. Okay, do I want to create kilograms? Yes, do it the same way. Now a new unit is created in this list. I have a speed. I put my velocity here, equals 10 kilometers per hour. What is km? That is kilometers. That's defined. It detects the name, and if I want to keep this one, that's okay. So now I want to calculate what is my energy when having this speed. Put some auto reports, and I want a variable for my energy. As we all know, the energy is, I make a comment for my energy and I make the calculation underneath, like this. This is my calculation. But what unit do I get here? I get some strange unit. If we look at it, we may know it is correct. I don't want this strange unit. I want joule as my unit. In place of using this strange value, I go into my unit list, and here I want to create a new unit. To do that, I can right-click anywhere in this list and say Add Unit. Now I want to use a built-in standard unit, and here we find joule. By creating this one, it also creates Newton. So here we see joule is defined as Newton times meter, and Newton is kilograms times acceleration. If now, going back to the diagram, the energy of this object is 308 joule. Thank you for watching this video.